right, good evening and welcome to the Poliscope on Dominion Television, your trusted platform for policy, politics, and progressive conversation that shape our democracy. I am your host, Samson Balogun. Tonight we examine a topic that sits at the very heart of Nigeria's democratic evolution: digital registration and grassroots democracy, mobilization, transparency, and a quest for peaceful party congresses. As political parties prepare for internal congresses and broader electoral processes, questions of credibility, inclusion, transparency, and peace have never been more critical at this stage. Can digital registration strengthen internal democracy? That's a very big question, and we'll be talking about that on the show this evening. Also, can grassroots mobilization restore trust in party structure? And how do we ensure peaceful congresses across party lines in a politically charged environment? And to help us unpack these important issues, we are joined by two distinguished guests on this show. Of course, we'll be starting first with Barrister Neyi Aborishade, and we'll also be joined by Honorable Bimbo Kolade as the show progresses. Now, Barrister Neyi Aborishade is a UK-based legal practitioner. He joins us with his wealth of experience in law and definitely in political participation. These are things we are going to discuss with him on the show this evening. Now, he's a gubernatorial aspirant of the ADC. And let me put it on a lighter note. He's the Mogaji of Ajagwa Compound, Okeofa, Babasale, Ibadan. With his background in law, community leadership, and political participation, just like I said earlier, he offers a unique grassroots reform-based orientation. And of course, his perspective on that and party politics, democratic engagement, these are things he brings to the table. Gentlemen, thank you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the show this evening. Tonight's discussion will explore the role of digital registration in eliminating irregularities and strengthening internal party credibility, the importance of grassroots mobilization in deepening participatory democracy, legal and institutional safeguards needed to ensure peaceful, transparent party congresses, and how political actors across party lines, just like Barrister Neyi Aborishade, can prioritize democratic stability over factional interests. Nigeria's democracy does not only depend on general elections. It depends on how political parties conduct themselves internally. If internal processes lack transparency, the ripple effects are felt nationwide. And thank you for being on the show this evening. You can do well to link up with us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. Thank you for joining us. Barrister Neyi Aborishade, good to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And I thank our viewers. Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack on this show. Just as I said earlier, when it comes to political processes in Nigeria, most people believe in the general elections. But before then came party registration.
Yes.
Before then came primaries, selection of candidates, either by primary, direct primary, indirect, consensus, and so many other things. The ripple effect of the mistakes made or being made within political structures in Nigeria is being felt in terms of leaders we select eventually or elect into political offices. Now, let me ask you, how important is strategic party registration to democracy in Nigeria?
It is very important, of course, because those who belong to the political party are the ones that we govern. Members of political party that win the election, we govern the country or the states or the local government. So it's very important. Of course, not everyone will join one political party or the other. Some are not involved in partisan politics, yet they will cast their votes. But for those who belong to political parties or who has intention of joining, it's very critical that members registered. We have seen that those who are leading this country, you look at their numbers of the political parties, the members that are governing the country, maybe it's just 2% of the population. Yet out of those 2% are the people that we formed. So it's important for people to join one political party or the other. Of course, the civil servants are not allowed to practice partisan politics. So, but the means by which to join political party is what we are dealing with now. The Electoral Act has made it mandatory that all members of political, anybody want to become a member of political party should register electronically this time around, digital registration. And people have been doing that. Of course, the time was so short when considering the fact that the election time itself has been reversed and so close for a new party that has just emerged. And this may prove difficult. Of course, I see the advantage, and that's why I support the digital registration wholeheartedly. Of course, there are still some areas, because we have a lot of people who are illiterate, living in the villages, of course, from 15 to...
They are disadvantaged.
They are disadvantaged.
When it comes to technology.
Exactly. Some of them, they are not even, they don't even have NIN. So, how would they register? And it's compulsory for you to have NIN in order to register to become a member of political parties. So this is making it difficult for some of our members of the ADC who are illiterate, who doesn't have NIN in the villages, in rural areas. So it's a bit difficult.
Okay, now that digital registration is becoming the revolutionary means of registering members of the political party. This is not the first time party registration is being done.
That's correct.
But it has always been manual. There are scripts, there are papers where they say, oh, we have so number of party members in so ward. But now it is about to be harnessed. Yes. There will be a central register.
That's correct.
For all political party members across Nigeria.
Yes.
Now, if I may ask you this, how transformative can it be for internal party democracy?
You see, the beauty of it, let me say, of our own party, if you register digitally, you still need to present yourself at your ward with your ID to show
that I'm a member of this party.
That I register. Because now it's easy to register anything online. As it stands today, they can even register a dog, give it a name and things like that, and they just type a kind of NIN number that's not relevant. So this has to go under review, and the presentation of yourself. Some people are in abroad, they can register, but that presentation now, they have to come home to Nigeria to show in their ward that they actually register member of that party. So those are the kind of challenges. But it's good because that will give us accurate figure, not a kind of a figure,
a random
figure that they just register. Because if there is no presentation of oneself at the local ward, then they can register 50 million people. And this is non-existent figure. So we don't want that to happen. And here this we have made it mandatory that after the initial data registration, you go to your ward, you show it with your ID card and photograph, and then they can register it manually. So when we compare the list, we can be able to tell this is the numbers of our members, and that determines a lot as well.
So some Nigerians believe when it comes to party congresses,
yes,
it is usually predetermined.
Before.
Now, with the introduction of digital registration for members of political parties,
yes,
will this restore trust in political parties in Nigeria?
I think there should be transparency on this time around, because if somebody comes with a figure, we can now bring the digitally stored membership. Say, how can this be? We have 1,000 members here, and we say 2,000 members cast their vote. This is impossible unless the ghosts are here. So I think that there will be transparency this time around. But nevertheless, the law or anything cannot enforce itself. It's still the people. We still have to rely on the people, on their transparency. I say this very much because sometimes there could be a low turnout. Let's say we have 2,000 members that registered and 800 people turn up. That for anybody who want to do some nasty things, rigging, they can say we have 2,000 and they added the numbers up to it. So we don't want that to happen. No matter what we are doing, no matter what we do in terms of utilization, we still need people of credibility who will conduct the election. Something happened some years ago when we were casting our vote. I was in PDP then, and then those who belong to the other side, they were the ones that have that power. All the people that actually register who are in our own camp, They did not allow them to in. The secretary of the state or the party just stood at the gate. We say, "Oh, Adekunle Ademola, you come out." All those people that he knew already, that they have planted there, those were the people that they allowed to
into the
hall. Arena, we are into the that time Lekki Salami Stadium. So, and that means people that are conducting that election, they still need to be credible. They still need to be transparent. And they still need to be honest.
Some have also clamored, just like what you said. I want to quickly allude to what you said earlier. Some have clamored that INEC should be a part of primaries within political parties. They should play an active role. Do you believe in that too?
I believe, but even they are already. When we conducted election, that was 2023 at Adekunle, INEC was there to supervise. INEC herself, when she was not allowed to do anything, she addressed the press that there is no election here, and they said there is election, and they still INEC still allowed it, despite the fact that the INEC official said there was no election that day. So we still need people who are credible, irrespective of whatever we are doing. Without people who are honest, who are credible, it may still be in vain at the end of the day. So we don't want that to happen, and we are going to guard this anywhere they are conducting election. Particularly in your state here, we are going to get jealously to ensure that it's each free, that the actual numbers of people who participated in that election are the numbers that will be counted.
So, when we talk, in the real sense of it, when we talk about party congresses, what does a truly peaceful party congress, what does it look like in practical terms?
I have seen that in Europe, in the United Kingdom. A peaceful party congress where people will go there, they will exercise their franchise, they cast their votes, and they return home. And the numbers that participated in that election are the total numbers of what was declared. So that is a peaceful and free and fair election. Not the one that will be rowdy, where people will be exchanging their votes for money,
snatching of ballot
boxes, threatening. We'll see some people, some thugs will be hired, standing. They will be telling you who to cast your vote, otherwise they will harm you. So that is not free and fair election. It's not credible. And Nigeria at this stage should have been above that board. We should be able to operate free and fair election, whether party, primaries, or the general election. We should be able to conduct it, each free.
Okay, if we want to talk about from governance standpoint, okay, if you want to talk about data registration systems, how important is data integrity in all of this? You have spoken about having credible people at the helms of affairs.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to supervisory roles.
That's right.
In all of this. But then how do we bring that system to that stage? Because you have often spoken about the rotten system.
That's the problem.
So how do we correct all of this to get back to where the system is meant to be?
The data system will be very helpful if we are diligent about it, because data can still be manipulated. It is the information that we feed into the system that will remain the system. That digitalized something can still be tampered with. But hopefully, we are moving. It's a gradual process. And it's very good that this has been introduced at this stage. We will get there very soon. This time around, it may not be 100%, but I think if you follow it very well, procedurally, and with integrity, I think it should be better than what we have been doing before.
Now, let's talk about you as a legal practitioner.
Yes.
From a legal perspective, what are the constitutional or legal implications of a flawed party registration process?
Of course, the remedy is always in court. When there is flawed process or procedure, then the aggrieved party should go to court. The Electoral Act has stipulated the way to conduct it. There are 2 ways or 3 ways. Either by consensus, that means the people can come together and reach an agreement. This is our candidate, and everybody will say yes, and then it becomes the candidate. Or we go through direct primaries, where the party members will be able to cast their vote. So if there is an aggrieved party or there's manipulation of the system, then the remedy should be in court. Of course, the situation in Nigeria today, people are losing their trust or confidence in the judicial process. Yeah, as we can see, there are conflicting judgments here and there now, and judiciary.
Same court, different
the same
judgment.
Yeah, the same judicial
Jurisdiction,
coordinate
different judgment.
different judgment. The Federal High Court say this, the State High Court say this. Of course, when there is a judgment that is not appealed, and the State High Court is aware, or then you will say the right thing is to appeal the judgment first. What? They sit as if nothing has happened over there, and they pass judgment. So that is eroding the trust and confidence that people of this country have in judiciary. Oh. So judiciary, of course, they have to clean themselves up as well if they want this thing to work.
Okay, now we are going to look at this from two different perspectives,
yes.
And that is where this show has been expanded a little bit, so that we get the legal standpoint of all of this, and of course we get the governance standpoint of what we are trying to discuss on this show this evening. And I must say that we have seen a little bit of clarity in what Nigeria has to work on when it comes to being able to conduct a free and fair election, because we have to start from somewhere.
That's correct.
But before we go forward on this particular topic, let's go on a quick break, and we'll bring the second guest on the show this evening. Then we can expand the show a little bit and talk about things that Nigerians really need to know on the show. We'll be back after this time out.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live like never before? Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still the Poliscope on Dominion Television. Ibado. All right, we now have in the studio Honorable Bimbo Kolade. He is a federal commissioner at the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Of course, in late 2025, he was elected as the 23rd president of the Nigerian Institute of Building, and that is NIOB. And we must say that he is a seasoned public servant and administrator. He brings deep insight into governance, institutional accountability, and national development. Thank you for joining us on the show this evening, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm happy and glad to be here.
You met us at a very good time. We've been talking about digital registration and how that affects party structure and how that can help build trust in the people. And we must go back a little bit in history. There used to be a time where Nigerians respect political parties. Now, politicians respect party structure. And that was because people were actively involved. And tracing back in history, they were active contributors to party development. They even contributed stipends to make sure that the party is fully funded. And of course, there's a free flow of engagement in there. Right now, the APC set the trend. Another political parties like the ADC of Barrister Niyi Aborishade is also following suit to make sure that, as compulsorily stated by INEC, every political party must register their members. Let's see how many members you have across all states. Now, from governance standpoint, how can this restore trust in governance in Nigeria? It is now safe to say that Nigerians are now truly going to vote for people they truly feel that were well selected from their parties, because it all starts from the political parties.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad and happy to be here, and I appreciate Barrister Aborishade for being here. Now, let me segment this into 2 or 3. You are talking of the rationale behind digital registration. You will agree with me that things are developing, and of course, worldwide, improvements are there. Everybody is going very digital. And so now that, okay, yes, as a party, we believe that, okay, we must have our members register and records of members properly kept. And you will see that this informs like a thinking ahead thing. The recent signing into law Electoral Act now stipulates that, okay, just 2 processes of internal party structures in candidates emerging, which is either you agree on a consensus or you go into direct primaries. It's not about primaries now. Direct primaries.
All party members must be involved.
Now, in those days, when registration was just on paper and all that, it's so easy for manipulation. Because by the time you say, okay, you want to go for direct primaries, somebody will come tomorrow and go and generate a list of members who are not even known to the party and all that. But now, in my ward, in my local government, I know now the numbers of people that have registered. And of course, we captured the registration then, tiling the registration with your NIN, the National Identification Number. And so that, with this, we know that, okay, the problem of just bringing people from nowhere to come and participate, we no longer be there. So this, of course, we believe, we build trust in the people. Part of what has been the challenges of before, of our democracy, is the fact that, okay, people thought, oh, there's no internal party democracy, because somebody will just come and either say, okay, this is the person that must run, or somebody will come and decide that, okay, whatever that is being done, highly manipulated and things like that. Yours truly has been a victim of this. In 2018, I was a senatorial aspirant. I ran the primaries in 2018. Things were going smoothly and things like that in Akinyele then, until somebody just wake up from there and decided that Kolade must lose this election. And from nowhere, we remember that night, some individuals are there that voted five, six times. That can no longer happen.
today, because we know that there's no way you can just come up and say you just want to to practice things like that. So I believe that it's a development to our democracy, and part of the things that I believe that we have enjoyed as a nation is that for 26 years running now, this democracy has been on since 1999. And that's with that. In 1999, the apathy was there. Nobody wants to come out. In fact, by that time, anybody that you bring up and know that can contest election and win, because nobody trusts the military are going to live in any way with all the dramas that we've witnessed in the past. But then from 1999 up to now, there has been development. Today, nobody will want to bother to say, I'm waiting to go and stuff the ballot box, because it will no longer work. BFAS is there, and all those things are there now. That has been, latest technology is being introduced and things like that to make things better. And I believe that with time, Nigeria will grow better. So this issue of digital registration is what I believe that something that will promote internal democracy within the party structure.
Okay, just before I come to Barrister Meya Borishade, the same thing, I want to ask you this. After primary elections, usually there are disputes of, that wasn't our candidate. Just like you said earlier, you were robbed out of a ticket for the senatorial seat in your senatorial district. So, can this help reduce disputes after primary elections?
Yeah, I want to believe that, yes, it will greatly help to reduce disputes. Because now, okay, fine, and the law, the Electoral Act did not say just consensus, that you wake up tomorrow and say, Aborishade has conceded. No, whoever is conceding must do that in writing.
In writing.
No, that you must present, right? And with that, okay, if somebody disagree, straight away, you have to put the person into primaries, which we said is direct primaries. Like as I'm sitting down with you today, I know that in Afijo local government where I come from, the last APC registration that we had there, we have a total number of 3,351 registered members in the whole Afijo local government. I know that in my Ward 4 in Infinity, where I come from, I know that we have 454 members who have registered. And this thing is digitalized. It's not something that somebody can go tomorrow and say he want to manipulate from anywhere. So with this, it's glaring, it's shown that, okay, fine, yes, I believe sincerely that it will surely help to reduce issues of dispute. Nonetheless, in any way, we are all human beings. We are bound to go into dispute.
I was about to ask Barrister Meya Borishade that particular one. That if you look at the current structure, now that there is the tendency that there is going to be free and fair primary elections, is technology
we hope there will be
tendency?
Yes.
Okay, is there, now that that is available, should we be looking at is technology alone enough? Or should there be political will?
I said that earlier. Technology is not enough. That's why they said, after you have registered, I don't know whether they are doing that in the APC, I'm not a member of APC, but in ADC, after you have registered, you have to go to your ward, show your ID, your passport, to confirm. Because if you look at it, anybody can register anyhow, like they have been doing. And then we said some people are even registering their dogs. Someone said they even register George Bush. I just put the name there, digitalized, but that person will fail to go and present his ID card. So that is when we can say this is the actual numbers of those who register. Without this proper scrutiny, they can stay anything. The members that we are saying we have social members may not be actually correct in figures unless people go there physically, show their ID card, their passport, with their NIN as well, to confirm the registration. That's when we can say, okay, we are near perfection in terms of registration, and we can say this is total numbers that we have, both digitally and physically, because we still look at it in the world. Now, election registration, I mean the party's member registration, does not translate to general election at the end of the day. Many people are not members of political parties. In fact, majority of the people of this country, they do not belong to the members of any political party. Those who belong to members of political parties in this country, maybe we are 30% or 40%. Where do we leave the 60% of other people that will cast their votes on the day? So we still need to, because there was apathy, not in terms of those who register. Now, the last election, only 25% or 23% of those who register cast their votes. Whereas in 1999, it was about 65 or 66. In 2003, it was slightly higher. But from that time, it was going down the drain. Because of those who are in government, the way they are running the system, then our people became apathy. They don't want to cast their vote anymore. That's why you see the youth playing football on the day of the election, when they should be at the polling booth to cast their vote. So all those things need to change. Because at the end of the day, if you allow only those who register at the member parties to go and vote, the people will still suffer. So if we only 5 people vote and somebody scored three votes and somebody scored 2, the one who scored 3 votes will declare as the winner of the election at the end, and we govern over millions of people. So people still need to go out. It's not the registration of members of political parties that determine who will rule us. Some parties may have 5,000, 6,000, or 10 or 1 million in the state. But if there are 10 million citizens in that state that goes to vote, they may not vote for that.
So whose role it is to encourage people to come out to vote? Whose role is it to encourage people, Nigerian people, to come out to vote?
The members of political parties is their role, and those who are aspiring to do one thing or the other, it's their role to encourage people. A new system is coming. Forget about this system, this hardship. We are bringing positive change to this state. We are bringing positive change to this country. Therefore, you should go and exercise your franchise. This government is passing away with all its failures, but a new system will emerge. It's only when we address people like that people now say, okay, we are coming to vote, because there's too much hardship in Nigeria today. Are you talking of the unprecedented fuel increase, or are you talking of the foreign exchange from about 400 naira to $1? It's now about 1,500 to $1. All those things, the people are tired. They want a change, and that's what we are telling the people: come out en masse to vote and change this government.
Honorable Bokolade, would you respond to that? Would you react to that?
Thank you very much. While appreciating Barrister Borishade, I want to say maybe campaign has not started. but then, it's okay. You see, I may not know what they are doing in ADC in terms of their registration. But I have my own registration slip.
Okay.
Here. Of course, you will see that for us in APC, because we are...
Can we get that
because we are organized.
What it looks like.
I don't know how organized ADC may be.
Honorable Bokolade, can you just flash that at the camera so we can see what it looks like?
He talked about passport photograph. You will see my passport being described here already. You will see.
And that's a temporary membership card.
Yeah, because this is sent to me digitally. Yeah. By the time it will be printed out, that will be like plastic ID that you can carry about, right? So with that, this the fear of saying maybe, and it has the information of the state, my local government, and even my ward. It's a Fiditi Ward 1, because I believe I belong to that Unit 1 of Ward 4 in Fiditi, right? So, you see, all these things that a barrister is alluding to, as far as APC is concerned, is already taken care of, right? Because, like I said, it's a progressive party. We think ahead, we look far ahead. Yes, by the time campaign comes, right, I will let Barrister Borishade knows, what this government has done to the betterment of Nigeria, right? And that's why we are saying, fortunately for me, I will say I've had the privilege of seeing it, right? Yes, I know that. Yes, it talks about the price in fuel. Yeah, I know that for the averagely in the 8 years of Governor Jimabi, of which I was an active participant, right? Average monthly allocation that was received, will be put at 4.8 billion naira. on the average, right? Today, the present administration in Oyo State, as a result of fuel subsidy, removal,
being disbursed to state.
As a result of that, today the average monthly allocation coming to Oyo State will be at about 30 billion naira a month.
That's an unprecedented increase.
That is it. So, this is the benefit of subsidy removal. You will agree with me that once the December comes and we are going into the new year, one of the things that Nigerians fear is what? Fuel scarcity. We have had two December and New Year celebration in this country today. During this administration, have you ever heard of fuel scarcity? It's no longer there. Things are there, available. Yes, we know that, yes, when in the beginning there are very hard decisions that takes a man with a bold heart, to take in this nation, which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took when he was starting. But today things are paying off. Yes, sometimes last year I told people that don't worry, by March, April this year, dollar exchange rate will come to 1,200. It's getting close to that today, and I can tell you that please check it out. By April ending, the exchange rate will be between 1,100 and 1,200. So what are we talking? It's getting better. So all of this, currently we know that as a nation, we know that yes, we have today a nation that if it continues on this path, it will surely get to a greater height.
Okay, Honorable Bimbo Kolade, I want to, since the election is not that close and the campaign is not here yet, we might as well shelve that and talk about the topic itself. Now, one of the major undoings of a country is the negligence, especially when it comes to carrying youth along. Because the youth carries about 60%, if not more, of the population of Nigeria as a country. And by estimation, some say Nigeria is about 250 million people, some say 270, some say 300 million people. But as of today, I think Nigeria recognizes 250 million people. So the question is, with this registration, what is, let me go to Barrister Niyi Aborisade first. In the ADC, your political party, as it stands, you are formerly a member of the PDP.
Yes.
And now you say there are differences between the PDP and the ADC. That's another question for another day.
Okay.
But the thing is, what exactly is your political party doing to make sure that youths are very well carried along in the scope of things as regards to registration?
I will answer that, but I need to respond to some things because my brother here said that the amount of money that's being disbursed to the governor is huge, unprecedented. That's correct, but how does that help the common people, the mechanic, the shoemaker? Shouldn't that be the shoemakers,
the responsibility of the governor?
Yeah, well, for what? How will he help when the fuel is increased? How will those people who are not in civil service, how will they benefit from this money they are disbursing to the government, to the governors? You can see the hardship in common people. That is and those are the people that vote a lot. Those are people that will come out. The food seller, how does the amount of money that is being given to the governors, how will it help the teeming population in the now? Okay. To the question, like I said, you said ADC is different from PDP. That's correct.
That was what you told
now,
me.
Yes,
that's not my assumption.
You know, everybody knows that ADC is a different political party, and the situation is this: the youth are many in ADC. They see ADC as a party of change. They are tired of APC. APC has ruled this country now for over 12 years. We are getting to 11 years now. Buhari spent 8 years. Tinubu has spent almost 3 years. PDP has ruled this country for about 16 years or more. So the people see, and the two parties failed the country. So ADC is providing a credible alternative in this next coming election. That's why the youths are coming. Change. You can see the revolution now in the country. Every day we are receiving people from PDP, from APC. They are coming to the party, both young and old, because our party is not a party of old people. It's a party for the old and for the new generation as well. Because there is a new change in the horizon.
Are you saying the APC is the party of the old people?
No, I'm not saying they are old people, but they have been tested and they have failed. Like you said, I don't want to go into campaign, but truth must be told. There's no one in this country now, apart from those who are members of the party, who are officials of the party, they have a duty to defend the party. I have no problem about that. But the truth must be told that people of this country are dissatisfied completely with the APC. And that's why in the next election, you will see how we wipe them out completely.
Okay, shortly, Honorable Bimbo Kolade, let me ask you this question. The same question, but then I want to add this very quickly. We have seen the City Boy movement. We have seen, what other movement? The Renewed Hope Ambassadors.
Thank you.
But then, are these just for the sake of the election? Or this is a long-term project of the APC?
Yeah, no, of course it's a long-term project of the APC. And I'm happy that you yourself, it's because you can see it. It's because you can feel it.
That's why
you
is it
know.
because
That's
of the
why
election?
You recognize that there is a City Boy movement. And the City Boy movement, who are the people that populate the City Boy movement? The young people. Though that shows you that APC remains a party that is appealing to younger generation and that is allowing younger generation, to be part and parcel of it. If you see in the cabinet of President Bola Tinubu, see the numbers of young people, people that are less than 50. That dominates the cabinet. Just yesterday, a 50-year-old person, Taiwo Oyedele, was just being appointed,
Minister of State
for Finance. So that shows, the level of the appeal, to younger people into the party. You see, for us in APC, we have no problem or no issue of attracting, the young people because they are part and parcel of us, already. But then, to the things that you alluded to, in the sense that the apathy of younger generation in picking interest in, in governance or matter and in politics in this nation. And I say, yes, it's a thing of concern. As you rightly said, today, 60% of Nigeria population are
the youth.
And of course, this generation needs to know that beyond just social media and the rest of it, they need to put on a thinking cap. They need to be part of what is happening in the society and in the environment. You will discover that these days, the youth of these days no longer want to do anything that is brain tasking, that is brain challenging, these days, which should not be there. Yes, technology is there, technology is available. You can Google anything and have answers to almost everything. But that will not take away thinking. It will not take away reasoning. How do I make my society better and other? So with this, yes, we must continue to appeal to younger generation to please take interest in what happens within your society and amongst your people. But when it comes to a matter of appeal to the party, you said, well, I overheard you saying something that Barrister Aburishade was one of the PDP before he jumped into ADC. So if he said PDP has rule and has faith, who has faith? Party is not by name. It's by the people that filled the party. So is it not the same set of faith individuals that jumped from PDP into ADC? So if somebody has failed before, we have not seen what he has done to improve himself, and he just go about changing name and things like that and want to come back into the market. A failure will always be a failure.
Okay, I'll give Barrister Niyi Aborishade an opportunity to respond to that.
Respond.
But then, very quickly before we do that, we are going to take full calls on this show today, and you can watch us live on our channels, on social media channels, and of course on Evo Satellite. You can just search for Dominion Television. You will find us there. Okay, let's have the phone number, and then we'll bring it out there so that people can join us on this show this evening. Barrister Niyi Aborishade, in a few seconds, you have the opportunity to respond to that.
He said something. He re-echoed what Buhari said, that got people annoyed. said that the youth are very lazy. That's what people said. The youth of Nigeria, they are very lazy. And he said that they need to tax their brain as if the youth are brainless. Whereas the youth of this country, they are ready to work very hard. But there is no employment opportunities for them. That's why there is jackpot in this country. Many of those who are traveling abroad are youth, similar youth of this country, because the government has failed woefully. APC has failed woefully. When I say PDP has failed, it's not that they have failed totally, they started well, but it's because of that failure. When they refuse to listen to the voice of reason that people like us cannot be part of that failure, we left that party because we cannot be part of that failure. We need a platform that will bring the positive changes, the ideas that we want for this country. I'm of a progressive element, so I cannot stay where people will not listen. And you can see what is happening to PDP. And very soon, the same thing will happen to APC. Because they are, you see, when you look at APC and PDP, you will remember that most of those who are in PDP before are now in APC. Most of those who are in APC, if they have problem, they come to PDP. You can hardly differentiate.
Barrister, so, I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Hello.
Yes, I'm Bolaji from Oyo.
Okay, please, thank you for joining the police.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, clearly. Hello.
Okay, I want to ask our guest some questions.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, I want to know the plan of, I want to greet Barrister Abolishade first, and then I've been seeing some of his activity, and then I want to ask what his own plan as far as the youth of Oyo State is concerned in his quest to be governor of Oyo State.
Okay, is that it?
I said you want to dream me first.
Okay.
Before you dream.
Okay, you can just drop the next question so that we don't keep you hanging online. Hello. Oh, we lost that caller. Of course, Barrister Neya Abolishade, you can respond to that in 2 minutes.
Yes. When we mention youth, a 50-year-old man is not a youth, as my friend has.
Okay, you are going back to what?
No, I will answer. He said they have just appointed a 50-year-old man in a position and referring to him as a youth. If that is the idea in APC of who a youth is, we don't believe that in ADC. When we talk of youth, we are talking of somebody under 40 years old, at least. And they will make sure they take good position in this country, because they said the youth of yesterday are leaders of today are the leaders of tomorrow. The youth of today are leaders of tomorrow. We need to make use of the youth. They have the ability. They have the tendency to go where the elderly people cannot go. So we need youth much in power, and we have to put them in position. If I become governor of Oyo State, I will make sure that there are many youths as commissioner. Youth will play a big role in my government if I eventually become governor of Oyo State, because youth are very important. That's why in the scripture, Bible said, I'm writing to you, youth, for you are strong and you have overcome the evil one. That means generally the youth have the ability, they have it when there is an enabling environment. Not this kind of environment under the APC, when they don't have regard, those who they regard as youth are the people of 15 years old. We are not talking of that. We are talking of people who are under 40 that we can call youth, and we make use of them seriously.
Okay, the studio line to dial is 23 plus 234 9165 122000. Okay, it's on the screen. You can just call us in, and then we'll take your responses on questions on this show. Honorable Bimbo Kolade, let me ask you this very quickly. We have seen the surge in governors moving from their political parties into the APC. I'm now about to ask you why, but of what importance? Because you have seen governors giving reasons as they want to align with the power at the center. So of what importance is aligning with the power at the center to the common man on the street of Oyo State, Ekiti, and some other states in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, these governors that are moving, they did not just say just because they want to align with the party at the center, but they recognize the importance of what the head of the party at the center is doing for the betterment of the people, and this is why they are moving. Mind you, when Adamawa governor, the recent one to come up now, when he was addressing his people and he was talking, he said, see, that he has invited President Tinubu to Yola to commission all of these projects because as a president, he wasn't discriminating to say, oh, because the people in Adamawa, they are not of APC store. So as a result of that, all the necessary federal presence and things that needs to go to Adamawa will not go there, being partisan. Another, at the end of the day, he ensures that yes, as long as Nigerians are the ones there, development are getting to them. And of course, the governor is the leader of the state. He could see this, and as a result of that, he believes that okay, fine. If we join the party, at the center, we believe if they could do this, why we are not part of them? Why will they not do more for us
when
now
they
that
join the political party?
We are part of it? These are the major reasons of the party because they see the good thing that the man is doing. Yes, you ask specifically that yes, if the governor of Oyo State decide to join APC today, what will that reflect or benefit the people? In any way, we don't want him to come because we don't want another Raburasa in our midst. Anyway, but then you will see that yes, even without the presence of the governor of Oyo State in APC, things that things that government needs to do. Federal government needs to do is still there. Construction works are going on that are benefiting people. We can see today completely now you can wake up and say, I want to be in Lagos in another 1.5 hours.
Okay.
That's development.
Okay. So thank you for that particular one. In 30 seconds, I would love you to react to that particular one before we call it a day on the show this evening because our time is fast spent.
That's right. It's a very good one. Next time we have to.
I
find him very interesting. Yes, the truth of the matter is people are going to APC not because they want to go there, but there's a kind of coercion. There's a kind of threat, underlying threat from the federal government.
I beg to disagree completely.
You will.
Because I don't see where the threat is coming from.
Because those of us who are prone to this thing, we know why they are going there, where they are dangling the carrots, and when they want. Look, I think the federal government is afraid of the next election. We have been conducting different elections in this country. We have never seen it like this. And not because he's doing well. That is a fallacy. I will not agree that he's doing well. That's why they are joining. They are joining because they are under and luring them also with money. If you know the amount of money that those people that were joining APC that are collecting from their government, you will see that that's one of the reasons why they are. We will discuss it.
It's a topic for another.
You know what I want you to take away from this show? Okay. Don't be surprised if you see Barrister
Okay, thank you for being a part of the show today. It has been a wonderful session and that's about the end of the show. It has been a thought-provoking conversation on the future of an internal party democracy in Nigeria. And of course, do join us again next time for another interesting and engaging edition of the Poliscope on Dominion Television. But do remember that when political parties come together, and of course, to create an enabling environment for Nigerian voters to come out and vote, it makes it easy to select and elect credible leaders and put them at the corridor of power. But be that as it may, it has been a rich and thought-provoking conversation, just like I said, for digital innovation to grassroots mobilization, from institutional accountability to peaceful political engagement. One message is critically clear on this one. The strength of our democracy begins within the political parties themselves. Transparent digital registration systems can reduce manipulation. Strong grassroots participation can enhance legitimacy. And peaceful rule-based congresses can build public confidence across party lines. And on behalf of Dominion Television, I thank our distinguished guests for joining us on the show, Honorable Bimbo Kolade and Barrister Niyi Aborishade, for sharing their insights and perspectives. And to our viewers out there and callers, democracy thrives when citizens stay informed, engaged, and committed. Samson Balogun is my name. Thank you for watching the Poliscope on Dominion Television. Good night, and let's keep the conversation going.